Hello everybody and welcome back to Living in Green Bay. You know, one of the integral parts of the Green Bay, Wisconsin fabric, whether you like it or hate it or, just downright worship it maybe, is the Green Bay Packers. And one of the most common questions people ask when it comes to game day in Green Bay, Wisconsin is, where do I park? And so in this video today, we are going to give you a few different perfect parking plans so that you can enjoy your game day experience in Green Bay. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Andrew Geiwitz, and I am your local real estate agent of choice here in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area, and your host of Living in Green Bay. Like I said, today we are talking about your perfect Packer parking plan. And there actually are a fair amount of variables when it comes to parking for a Green Bay Packer home football game. And in this video, I want to break down all of those different layers to help you make an informed decision about what kind of parking experience do you want, because it's funny, that parking experience actually can contribute to your overall enjoyment of the fan experience at the game. So we are going to dive into that. I think you're going to get a lot of value from this video and enjoy it as well. As we begin our journey exploring the perfect Packer parking plans, the main area around Lambeau Field is going to be our first focus. Now, as you look at it on the map here, one of the things you'll notice, which I believe is very unique to Lambeau Field compared to other NFL stadiums in other cities, is its proximity to residential living. It's practically just dropped down in the middle of the west side of Green Bay, bordering Ashwaubenon and Green Bay. And there's homes all around it. One of the unique things you'll notice is there's really no parking ramps anywhere around Lambeau Field. So that means the parking spreads out rather than up and down. When you're talking about parking right at the stadium, almost all of those are sold out as far as parking spots go to season ticket holders. Some of those are set aside for people with disabilities or other special use kind of parking situations. So the most primary lots for the stadium are already sold out. They do offer some paid parking in an open field right next to the stadium that you can pay, I believe, $40 a ticket to park in the field there. And all of these parking options there allow tailgating and you to kind of have that extra bonus experience and kind of the stuff that you've seen maybe in videos, adding to the ambiance of the game, people enjoying food and partying before and after the games. That's the kind of area you'll see that tailgating happening. When you broaden out from that primary parking right around the stadium, this is where you get into what I was just referring to, which is that residential kind of mix right around the stadium. The cool thing about the people of Green Bay and Ashwaubenon is that a lot of the homes right around the stadium actually rent out their yards or their driveways or what have you for parking spots for the fans as they come to the games, because there's just no way for parking lots to hold the amount of fans that are coming to these home football games at Lambeau Field. So one of the unique experiences is you can actually pay to park in somebody's lawn and maybe even develop a relationship along the way where you could maybe, reserve a spot as you get to know people, or just if you're coming for a single game, just find a place and park. And there's a lot of helpful people that can kind of funnel you into those different areas around the stadium. And so as you're thinking of parking in the lawns and unique parking things that are set up by these homeowners, it kind of ripples out from the stadium. So you have your initial parking right by the stadium, and then it just ripples out almost block by block. You can see it on the map here, and you'll see as you spread farther out and the distance you're walking becomes further people start to charge less for the parking tickets. And so that's just kind of how the fees go. It just break down as you get farther out, which is not essentially not a surprise. And you can kind of decide, okay, how much do I want to pay to park, cost benefit for walking and the time it's going to take me to get to and from my car compared to how much it costs. So that's just something to think about as you're looking for parking in the residential areas. The further out you get, the cheaper it often gets. As you are looking to park in these residential areas, one recommendation I would have is to make sure you bring cash to be able to pay the 30, 20, 15, 10, whatever it ends up being, dollars for parking. It'll just make your parking experience easier and simpler. I don't know if there's options to pay with card or anything that any of these homeowners are employing, but if you do know, mention that in the comment section. That would be really interesting if that is the case. But at least cash, that'll get you in the yard and parked and on your way to the game. Okay, we are going to talk about a few sneaky, cool parking options here in a little bit that actually are oftentimes free or very little cost to you and may not even involve you parking right at the stadium itself. So before we get to those, if this video is giving you value and you're appreciating it, would you, kind of send some of that value back my way by hitting the thumbs up button for this video? And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because Living in Green Bay is pumping out content for you to get to know the city better, to follow along with what's going on in the city, and to just be a resource for people moving to the city or coming to visit the city or just looking to improve their time living in Green Bay. So subscribe and hit that bell so that you can get notifications when new content comes out and follow along with everything that's going on with living in Green Bay. I would really appreciate that. Thanks again, and let's talk about a few other tactics you could employ. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of one of those people who really likes to know my options and push the boundaries of what it takes to be able to figure out how to get the best deal and the most bang for my buck. I know that probably ties into me just being a real estate agent and always trying to, go above and beyond for my clients and always pushing that envelope that way. So it's just definitely something in my DNA as a person. But if you're someone like that, or you're just curious, these are some creative ways that you could maybe save a buck if you are comfortable with some of the costs for it, which would be longer walks and also maybe even paying a person to drop you off at the stadium. So one of the unique things is that the stadium actually has a pickup and drop off option for people attending the game. And so if you were to say have a friend who lives nearby, you could drop your car off there and they could take you to the game and drop you off, or you could do a different one of the few different taxi service kind of deals to bring you to the stadium and drop you off. And I know a lot of those drivers are pretty comfortable with this because they do it pretty much every week. And so if you find one of those, they could take you to the stadium that way and not even have to park at the stadium at all. A couple of free options that you might be interested in are just parking on local city streets. Now, be careful here because if you try to maybe game the system and park there overnight, a lot of these areas will not allow overnight parking, and so you might get a ticket if you try to leave your car there overnight. So park there on game day and either walk a little bit farther, maybe find the fringe of those paid parking areas and park around those, or you could actually park in one of the designated areas for the Green Bay Metro bus, and they actually have, I believe, 4 routes that are free on game day to take you to and from the stadium in the bus. And it's actually a great setup. I've done it myself to get to and from games, and it's a free service provided for the fans going to a game. And you would just park in one of these designated areas off-site and ride the bus in. If you're looking for that kind of information, I will put the links to some of these in the description below so that you can get a better idea and do some more further research that way. In addition to this discussion about where you should park, comes into play this idea of make sure that you know how to travel to the stadium. So the stadium is on the west side of Green Bay, actually not very far from where I live, and there are some main roads that bring you to the stadium. You've got Lombardy, Oneida, Ashland, and then the highways 41 and 172. Those are kind of the main arteries that might bring you in and out from the stadium. There's other roads, but that's the majority. And as you might suspect, with people coming from all over the world to this game, they want to take whatever the easiest ways are to go in and out. And so you're going to have a lot of traffic on those main roads. And fun fact, be aware that some of those roads become one-way roads when it gets close to game time for people to come in, park, and leave after the game. A lot of those two-way roads turn into one-way roads, either going in or going out. So if you're trying to, navigate that area around game time, you might run into some issues where the road isn't operating as it normally would because they've changed it for the game day traffic flow. So another thing you can do if you want to, maybe go next level with your Packer parking plan is look at some of the different other ways you could get closer to the stadium other than those main roads. If you look at maps, there are some different city streets and roads that will help you kind of maneuver around, and though they may appear longer in the map, mapping systems tell you, oh, this is the quickest route. With traffic, that's not always the case. So you could take some different inner city kind of streets to get closer to the stadium and kind of come in from different angles. One thing I want to mention though, as I put that idea out there, is please, please, please be respectful and careful if you are driving in residential areas going to or from a Packer game. I know the excitement of the game is really fun and you're just focused on getting to the stadium and all the fun that you're about to have there, but this is also where people live and are trying to enjoy their Sunday or Monday or Thursday, time as well. And so just be respectful and aware and make sure you focus on your driving as you're getting closer to the stadium. And just be careful that way, please. Please, please, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up for this video if you liked it, if you want to see more of this kind of content. If you have other ideas for parking or anything else as it relates to coming and going from a Packer game, make sure to mention it in the comment section below. It really is a blessing for people to be able to see, other people's feedback in the comment section and just continue to add to the community here with living in Green Bay. So I would greatly appreciate that. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Green Bay, or maybe buy a home right around Lambeau Field or sell your home right around Lambeau Field, make sure to hit me up. I am a local real estate agent here in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area and would love to help you with your move here or away from here or around the city or whatever it is that you're ending up doing with your real estate needs. Well, there you have it. That is a few different ways that you could create your perfect parking plan for your home Packer game experience here in Green Bay this season or whenever you end up watching this video. I hope the video gave you value and was worth your time and gave you a couple cool ideas to try out when you're looking to park for a Packer game at Lambeau Field. Thanks again. My contact info is in the description below, and we will see you guys on another video with Living in Green Bay soon.